Hello, and welcome back to another Instagram TV. I don't have any notes for this, but I feel like I can speak it and channel it through better than I can write it. I'm in a season, I don't know if any of you have felt this, and I've talked about this on my podcast. I'm in a season where I don't have any words to write. I have a lot coming through me, but I sit down with a pen to paper and I'm like, there's nothing there. I can't perfectly encapsulate how I'm feeling and make it super juicy and gorgeous and these beautiful writers that I see on Instagram, and I'm like, oh my God, I love that. And I can't wait to feel that way again because I know that it's in me. I love to write. But in this season, and my friend Pilar talks about this too, and she's a beautiful writer, I got nothing. I've got nothing when I put a pen to paper, and I'm honoring that. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Glennon Doyle said it perfectly. She's a writer. She hasn't written shit in quarantine. And she's like, there's seasons for writing and creating, and there's seasons for more so becoming and awakening and deconditioning and surrender. And that's still the season that I'm in. But I'm feeling really called to bring this message through. And so I don't know where this is going to go, but I want to keep it brief as Spirit will allow me to. But something I'm seeing so much of is this obsession with the 5D. And I'm all about it. Okay. I'm all about the 5D experience and, the heart opening and being able to climb higher in frequency and access the astral and work with our divinity and work with our connection to source and all these different pieces. And I'm all about it. I work in spirituality. I'm a spiritual mentor of sorts. I help other people awaken to their own spirituality and their own gifts and to decondition after coming out of religion and accessing their chakras and going into alignment and energetic healing and Reiki work. And I'm into all of that. And also, I'm noticing this trend that we're making the 3D out to be bad. And we're making it so that the 3D is the poo of oh, you're so 3D. 3D is so 1990, and then now we want to be on the 5D. And while the 5D is beautiful, you guys, we're in a fucking 3D human body, living a human experience in a physical vessel. You can't hack out of the human experience. You can't transcend out of being a human. If you do, or if you're trying to, most likely you are spiritually bypassing. There's some deeper shit going on there. You're not actually in connection with your body. And I'm sorry, but why are you here as a human in a human vessel if you're not meant to be a part of the 3D experience? And I see these comparisons. It's 3D mindset, scarcity, 5D mindset, abundance. And it's let's just, I'm going to teach you how to hack to the 5D. And I'm about that. But you guys, we can't forget about the human experience. Being a human means I'm on the 3D plane. And yes, I have connection to the 5D. I have connection to the astral. I have connection to angels, to God, to spirit, to the universe, whoever you want to call it. But you can't hack your way out of being a human. If you do, you're missing the whole point. Pain, challenge is part of being a human. So is pleasure, so is joy, so is freedom, so is, a wide open heart, love and compassion and all these beautiful things. That's also part of being a human. A human is both and. You have the dark and you have the light. You cannot hack your way into the 5D and just bypass all of the real work shit that exists here in this time frame. And I'm saying that because I see a lot of people who are not trauma informed, and that you don't have to be trauma certified. You do not have to ever be someone that goes in on someone's trauma with them if you don't feel called to. In fact, I think that I would love for everyone to be, but I think it takes a specific calling, and it's not right or wrong if you do or you don't. I didn't feel called to trauma work for a long time, and then I did, and something shifted, and I was like, fuck, I've got to do this work. And now I'm adding a certification with a psychotherapist, to actually be able to do trauma work with my clients. But I was trauma informed long before that. And everyone needs to be trauma informed. If you hold any type of space for another human being, you need to be trauma informed. And here's what happens with being trauma informed. You are able to hold space and witness your clients when real life shit comes up. If you have experienced trauma of any kind, First and foremost, I am so sorry that that happened to you. And second of all, hacking your way to the 5D is not going to erase what has happened in the body. Trauma is stored in the body. It's something that you cannot just go into the subconscious and NLP or hypnotherapy your way through it. Those are beautiful tools. And also, you exist in a 3D body. Have you done the somatic work? Have you gone in and felt, where am I feeling that? What's coming up for me? What does it feel like? Is it dark? Is it light? Is it heavy? And not in judging it, but just noticing it and doing the work. I just think it's very dangerous. And I'm calling on you, my healer friends, my coach friends, my therapy friends, my spiritual friends, whoever you might be, wherever you might be on your journey. Please be mindful of the language we're using. It's not about transcending this reality. If it was, we wouldn't be here. There are specific lessons you're here to learn, messages you're meant to receive, specific karma you're meant to clear. And if you just go through life, disconnecting and disassociating and living on the astral, what's going to happen is that you're not going to learn what you need to learn. Guess what? You're going to come back and you're going to do it again. If we don't learn the lessons, we keep repeating the same karmic loops. And so if you find yourself in this space of continuing to come up against the same exact thing, A, healing comes in layers. Welcome to being a human. But B, have you gone into the body about it? Have you really looked at the inner child work of it, the shadow work of it, the trauma work of it? And if you did not listen to my last podcast, I talked about healing is, yes, the purification work, the shadow work, the inner child work, the deep, kind of heavy, sometimes very painful healing. And also, you can also experience healing through joy, through pleasure, through delight, through living your best life. So it's not about needing to suffer because you're a human and you need to feel it forever. It's not about that. And if you think that that's it, then you're missing the whole point. But it's about the both and. Please be mindful of you can hack your way here. You can hack your way here. It's John Wineland says it best. He's like, fuck hacking, go deeper. Your spiritual experience, your human experience, your becoming, your awakening, your liberation, your coming home to yourself is not, my friend, something to hack. It's not going to work, and it's not sustainable, and it's not long-term, and your body remembers, and you're going to keep coming up against the same shit. It hurts my heart how many of us are trying to escape being a human right now. Yes, you can create a new reality, and yes, you can manifest anything, and yes, you choose your outlook. I'm not saying you have to sit and be negative. But what I'm saying is you chose to come into a human body during a global fucking pandemic, right? During literally the craziest shitstorm of, old paradigms crumbling and new worlds being created. Your soul chose that to be here right now. Otherwise, you could have been a spirit guide, or you could have been on another planet, a famous Egyptian princess, rolling around in gold. I don't know, whatever the fuck you want, but you're here. So yes, play with the 5D, play with the heart chakra, play with, this spiritual work. It's beautiful, but don't let it be so sexy and alluring that you pull yourself out of and actually disassociate from your human body. So many of us walk around in life disassociated, disconnected from our actual body. When's the last time you felt her, you touched her, you experienced her, you even named, what am I feeling right now? And not just I'm sad, I'm happy, I'm okay, I'm good, but I'm feeling some heaviness in my chest. There's this dark black box in my belly. What is that? And feeling into it. I could go on and on about that. This is the work that I do. If you need support in this, please reach out to me. There's obviously other people that do this work as well, but just be mindful of the shiny, sexy, alluring things that pull you in and make you think that you can just hack out of being a human. It's not real. And in fact, It can even be more re-traumatizing, and then you have more healing to do later. And I don't say this to scare you. I say this to be like, oh, I tried that. I tried it. Save yourself time and money from me having to try that and learning, oh shit, this doesn't work long term. And I also just say it because I care for you so deeply. And I pray that you feel my heart in that. I really, really do. But fuck hacking, go deeper. John Wineland, I love you. This work is not something to try to escape. And yes, it's going to come in layers. And yes, there's going to be, darkness, but there's also so much light. And there's heaviness, but there's expansion and openness at the same time, and lightness. And there's just so much here, and it's so beautiful. It's part of this rebirth process. It's part of this becoming, is to go through this. So honor where you're at. Don't buy into like, oh, if you're 3D, it means you're living in scarcity. No, I'm just a human. I'm just a human having a human experience, and I can be abundant and I can be scarce, and I can have both. And if I am scarce, then there's probably just something there for me to work on, and that's okay. But it doesn't mean I need to leave my body, because if I'm leaving my body, what in the motherfucking shit is the actual point? That's what I have for you. Let me know if you have questions on this. Let me know in the comments below what comes through for you, and how can I support you in this conversation if you do want to take it deeper. Because maybe we'll talk about it in the membership portal. We can talk about it in a one-on-one session, or I can talk about it in a future podcast or Instagram TV. So I love you guys. Have the most beautiful day. What day is it? Today's Monday. Yeah. Whew, that was really intense. So I'm going to go rest now after that one. But I'm excited to hear if this resonates and if this hits home. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.